Hey guys, it's Narissa Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm super excited to share with you another boxed cake mix hack video. But today I'm going to share with you recipes using a sugar-free cake mix. So one, I'm going to share with you a blueberry muffin sugar-free boxed cake mix recipe. Two, a 2-ingredient chocolate cake recipe. You don't want to miss that one. And then three, my favorite chocolate chip cookies. They are completely sugar-free. These were gone in my house within 12 hours, I think. They are so good. You don't want to miss these recipes. I can't wait to share them with you. So let's get started. So first we're starting off with this super simple blueberry muffin recipe. This is so good, but it's so simple. So you just add one of the zero sugar cake mixes. I'm using the yellow one. Add it to a big bowl, and then we're just going to add a couple ingredients. We're going to add 1 cup of water and 1 small container of yogurt. I think it's 5.3 ounces. So I'm making blueberry muffins, so I'm using blueberry yogurt. It is Great Value brand, light and fit Greek blueberry yogurt. So not only is this going to be sugar-free, we're going to add a little bit of a protein punch with the Greek yogurt. And then we're going to mix that all together. Now you could use any combination of flavors here. It'd be so fun to experiment with this. You could try strawberry and using strawberry yogurt. You could use all kinds of things. Chocolate chip muffins, that would be good too. So I was using a whisk. I'm like, this batter's too thick. Why am I using a whisk? Just use a spatula to begin with. You dirty less dishes. So just combining those 3 ingredients, and then at the very end we're going to add our blueberries. So these are frozen blueberries, 1 cup of frozen blueberries. And then we're going to get them into some muffin tins. I used regular size muffin tins and mini muffin tins here, and I'm just showing you these different cookie scoops I got. I got them on Amazon. There's a 3-pack, and there's 3 different sizes. I've used these so much in my kitchen, not just for ice cream, obviously, and not just to separate batter evenly, but for other things too, like meatballs. They've really come in handy. So I'll link those down below if you're interested in adding to your cooking and baking tools, a multi-use tool. I've really been happy with that purchase. So I'm using the yellow one. I can't remember what number it is, but they're numbered for size. And just giving a good full scoop of blueberry muffin batter into each of my silicone cupcake liners. Silicone cupcake liners save the day. I was out of paper ones, so I wasn't really planning on sharing these other than to just my close family. So I didn't really need the cupcake paper liners anyway, but I would recommend grabbing some of those silicone liners. I'll link those down below too. They really do come in handy in a pinch. And now I'm just adding batter to my mini muffin pan too, and I don't have any mini muffin liners, so I went ahead and sprayed it really good with my Baker's Joy spray. It has flour in it. I really like this nonstick spray. And I believe I sprayed the silicone liners too. If you follow my channel at all, you know I always say I'm so paranoid about anything sticking that I will spray even non-stick surfaces. Lastly, I'm adding some granular sugar substitute to the top of the batter. This will bake and get a little crunchy like regular full-fledged sugar blueberry muffins. But look how good they turned out. They really turned out perfectly. They were cooked just the right amount of time. So the blueberry muffins in the mini muffin tin baked for 13 minutes, and then the regular size muffins baked for 20 minutes. That was what my oven produced. So yours might be a little bit different. Just keep an eye on them, but they were perfectly cooked and they were perfectly delicious. The kids were grabbing the mini ones. I was eating the big ones. I shared some with my family, and they were very good. Highly recommend this recipe. And you can't beat a fairly guilty-free blueberry muffin for breakfast, especially if you are a sweet breakfast eater like I am. They were awesome. And next up is this super impressive zero sugar chocolate cake. It only is 2 ingredients, and then I did add some filling and frosting. So if you're going to do that, add 2 more ingredients. Yeah, this one is so impressive. So 1 box of sugar-free cake mix. I'm using chocolate, and 1 12-ounce can of Diet Dr. Pepper. Pour it into your dry cake mix. Try not to make it bubble too much. You want those bubbles to stay and not fizz out before you can get it mixed up. So that's it. Mix this chocolate cake mix, sugar-free cake mix with 1 can of Diet Dr. Pepper, And that's it. We're going to bake it off. So I decided I was going to make a 3-tiered cake with this batter. I have these 6-inch cake tins. I have 3 of them, and they are perfect for making like an impressive tall cake. And you only have to use 1 cake mix. So if you were to use like 8 or 9-inch pans and want to make a 3-layer cake, you're going to have to use more than 1 cake mix. So this is perfect. If you're interested in getting those two, I'll link everything that I use in this video down below in the description box, as always, in case you're interested in any of these products. But because I'm so paranoid about sticking, I'm going to take every precaution. I'm going to cut out some circles of parchment paper and add them to the bottom of each cake pan, and I'm also going to spray them with that Baker's Joy non-stick spray as well. We're not going to have anything sticking here. So then I'm just going to, I cut the first one to size and then just use it to cut the other 2. And then I will have them ready for the tins. All right, so I spray it at the bottom, then put the parchment paper on top. That will make the parchment paper stick also. And then just divide your batter by 3. So I'm using a 1 cup measuring cup to divide each cake tin with the even amount of batter, and a spatula to just make sure and get it all out. But you want to try and be as even as possible so your cake looks, you know, like you're a professional baker. So this recipe is very versatile too. So you don't have to use chocolate. You could use the yellow cake mix and add, let's see, like a lemon lime soda to it, or a Mountain Dew. Ooh, that would be good. A yellow cake mix with a can of Mountain Dew. I might have to try that in the future. Stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll just post it on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, what are you doing? Go follow me over there. It's the same handle, Narissa Nicole with a K. I'd love to see you and holler at me and say hi. All right, so look how cute these came out. They were perfect. I baked these for 25 minutes in a 325-degree preheated oven. And they were just perfect and so cute and spongy. I could tell right then this was going to be an awesome recipe. So now I'm going to make the pudding to go in the middle and also on the outside. And I just remembered there is one more ingredient that I didn't mention before, but I'll show you. Stay tuned. So I'm just basically making this sugar-free chocolate pudding with some skim milk and the package of pudding. And you whisk it by hand for 2 minutes. So I got quite the workout, mixing, and I had to switch hands several times. But mix up your Jell-O and then let it cool in the refrigerator for an hour. All right, now we're going to do a poke cake with this. So I'm going to poke each layer, and then I put the pudding into a baggie, not a baggie, a piping bag. But you could use a freezer bag or any type of sandwich bag that you might have. So I put the pudding into that to make it easier to squeeze down into the little pokes that we made and hopefully make less of a mess. So I just made, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 pokes into the cake, and then cut the tip off your baggie and just squeeze the pudding down into the pokes that you made with your, I used a wooden spoon. Whatever works you can use. And then I just put a little bit extra on top so that there would be something in between each layer of cake. Adding the second layer, don't forget to take off the parchment, and again just use the end of your wooden spoon or whatever you have that will make a little poke. And I made pokes all around again, one there, a couple in the center, and then squeeze the pudding down in the center of the cake too. You guys, this cake was so moist and so delicious. I can't believe that only 2 ingredients made this cake this delicious. All right, again, spreading the pudding, just regular sugar-free chocolate pudding on the top in between the second and third layer. And then I'm turning the third layer upside down because it has a nice flat surface. That's kind of a little hack in itself. So you don't have to do any cutting or anything to make anything flat. Give it a few pokes. Add your chocolate pudding, and ta-da! So this would be really fun to add different flavors, because you could make the cake one flavor and then you could do the filling a different flavor. That would be really fancy. So I reserved a little bit of that pudding and then just mixed it in with a tub of sugar-free whipped cream, whipped topping. The kind that you usually put on pumpkin pie, the sugar-free. Just fold it in. Don't stir it too vigorously because it will kind of break down a little bit. Just fold it in gently. And now you have this super yummy like chocolate whipped cream to go on the outside. So I'm just pouring it on and then I'm just going to spread it all over. So don't worry if you make a mess on whatever plate you're using because you can always wipe it up with the towel, paper towel. You'll see that's what I do here. And this type of whipped cream frosting too is really nice because it's really forgiving. You just kind of slap it on there, spread it around, and it's going to look good no matter what you do or no matter what your skill level. So just make sure to cover all of the chocolate cake, spread it around, and then you can see all the mess I'm making. Don't even worry about that. We'll just wipe it up with a paper towel. And now we're going to cut into this bad boy. It was so cute. It was this perfect little 3-layer chocolate cake that was one of the most simple cakes I've ever made. Now, again, if you're new to my channel, I am just a little hobby baker. Like, I'm not professional at all. I just like to make fun desserts and share them with friends and family. But this cake is so moist. I couldn't believe it. Even without the pudding filling, the cake and the Dr. Pepper combined, whatever magic that is, makes it so moist. So had to take some pictures. You can see it was so good. Hey guys, okay, next we're gonna make some sugar-free chocolate chip cookies using a sugar-free cake mix. This recipe is super simple. It's just like the other box cake mix cookie recipes. You can use any flavor, you can use any flavor of chips, but it's really easy. So all you're gonna do is get a sugar-free cake mix. This one's Pillsbury yellow cake mix. So for regular chocolate chip cookies, I'm going to use the yellow cake mix. Where are my scissors? Okay, I don't need scissors. So we're going to add 1 cake mix to our bowl. And we're going to add a couple eggs. We're going to add a half a cup of oil of your choice. And we're going to add a tablespoon of vanilla, and then also a 1/4 cup of sugar substitute of your choice, granular. So let me repeat that again. We're adding the sugar-free cake mix, a 1/4 cup of granular sugar substitute, half a cup of oil of your choice. Now, I used just regular vegetable oil, 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, and 1 cup of sugar-free chocolate chips, which I actually ended up adding a bit more because I thought it needed a little more chocolate, you know. So mix all of those ingredients together, and then at the very end, add your chocolate chips. Then just mix, fold, use a spatula. It's really easy to just kind of fold in those chocolate chips. And then here, see, I added another 1/4 cup. These chocolate chips were really good for being sugar-free. And then I'm using one of my cookie scoops again to scoop out equal portions of the batter onto a piece of parchment. And I was afraid that these were so like thick that they might not flatten out at all when I bake them. So I flattened them myself with my finger. Now, of course, if you're going to share these with people other than like your family, your immediate family, you might want to use a glove if you're going to touch the batter that much because it's kind of a lot. But these are just for me and my immediate family, so they don't care if I touch them. But I used 2 big cookie sheets for, it was, I want to say 18 cookies, I think, is what I ended up with. But you can make these as small or as big as you wanted to. You could also just put this in a 9x13 or a 9x9. I'm not sure, maybe a 9x9 would be better, and make chocolate chip cookie bars. You could also add some nuts. That would be really good in this recipe too. You could add some like festive colors, like you could use M&Ms, red and green M&Ms in place of the chocolate chips. Make them a little festive. That would be really good too. I baked these in a 350-degree oven for about 12 minutes. You'll just have to keep an eye on them and check, you know, depending on how big you make them or how small and how good your oven is. My oven is super old, so it might be a little different than yours if you have a newer oven. but I was so impressed with these chocolate chip cookies. The texture was just spot on. You know, you cannot tell these are from a cake mix at all. They were like homemade chocolate chip cookies with all of the, you know, like 10 ingredients that you make from scratch. They were really, really good, but such less fuss went into making these. They were so good. I just wish I could show you. If you make anything, make these. I hope you enjoy these recipes. Let me know down in the comments below if you did, and leave me a chocolate chip cookie emoji to let me know if you made it this far into the video. That was my favorite recipe of these 3. I have a lot more videos like this. Check out this one right here, and I have a lot more to come. So I will see you in my next one. Bye.